Hey there, so today I have a video for you you're gonna like. It's basically the ZTE Zmax Pro. In 2017, is it still worth it? As you see it from the title. So, we're gonna find out and we're going to begin. So, the ZTE Zmax Pro in all of its glory is a good phone. I did a review. It'll be up in the whatever corner that it's supposed to be in. Probably up here, just because that's usually where it is, but it's gonna be up there. And basically, that is, I did an unboxing and review. Then I did a 2 week later. So the 2 week later will then pop up over here too. And then recently I did a pros and cons of the Zmax Pro. That'll be up here. So you're gonna, 3 videos will be linked one after another. I'm not gonna link them down in the description just because I don't care to. I'm probably gonna forget to. I don't know. So basically we're gonna just find out how good this phone is in 2017. So the first thing I want to do is I want to read the specs. So I am going to read it on my Zmax Pro, but I'm going to look them up in the online. So I'm just going to look them up and I'll read it when I get back. So first we're going to read the basic specs. It has a 6-inch 1080 by 1920. Basically, just if you see that anywhere, that just means 1080p. There's nothing special. It's not like, oh, this device is higher than 1080, but it's 2K, blah, blah, blah. No. Nope. It is just 1080p. Oh. It has a 13 megapixel rear shooter with 1080p video. The front-facing camera is 5 megapixels. It doesn't say over here yet. It's 2 GB of RAM, Snapdragon 617, which means it has quick charge, but I think that's just quick charge 2.0. I don't even know if that's 3.0. It has a 3400 mAh battery, which is good. It is great, but the problem is this device can be optimized a little better for battery. I mean, the Google Pixel has, or I wouldn't even compare it to the Google Pixel. The Samsung Galaxy S7 has a little smaller battery than this, and it lasts longer. I mean, seriously, for me, I get an on-screen on time of 3 hours just because an update that they stopped doesn't destroy the battery life, and then a new update will get a better battery life. But basically, if you're really going to think about this, the battery life on here isn't bad if you just buy it from the store now, or after the update and you can't get the new update. It's not. It could be better. It could be just as good as the S7. Now it has GSM, HSDPA, and LTE bands. Now, if you want to bring this to any other network, I'm just going to read the LTE bands because that's the most important. So, well, first, GSM is 2G bands, which most companies don't have. AT&T stopped it. It's 850, 900, 1800, 1900. Then the 3G or HSDPA, 850, 1700 AWS, 1900. 4G bands, LTE band 2, 1900, 4, 1700, 2100, and 12, 700. So the speed is HSPA, LTE, Cat 4, 150 to 50 megabyte, 150 up, 150 down, 50 up, I think. I'm not too sure what that is. It has the GPRS and it has Edge. So it was released in July 2016. It has a 6.17 ounces. It has a nano SIM, which is excellent because now devices are using nano SIM, so you don't need any converters of any sort. Has an IPS LCD capacitive touch with 16 million colors. Has a 71.7% screen to body ratio, which is great because some devices have a lot less. This looks like it is more than 71%. Now, I don't know how many finger multi-touch it is, but it is multi-touch, and it has Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which is could have been better. And even for Corning Gorilla Glass 3, this is not durable. This is not as durable. You definitely need a case. I just took mine off because I was using it sort of as a stand. Has Android 6.0 Marshmallow. It's an octa-core Snapdragon 617. It's a It's clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, and has for the GPU an Adreno 405. Has micro SD card. I like that he can hold. I like that some of the newer specs. It's like a low-end model phone where you get 32 gigs of storage and 2 gigs of RAM and the internals. But when you look all around the device, it's premium where it holds up to 256 gigabytes worth of an SD card. So you can get 500 megabyte, 1 gigabyte, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. You're not limited to getting only up to 64 gigabytes. You can get all the way up to 256. So that's nice. And the nice thing, even though it has, as I said, 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal space, it has, like, hardware, not hardware-wise, besides for the RAM and the storage, well, besides for the RAM and the processor, which Snapdragon 617 can definitely do a ton. If you had 4 gigs of RAM with that, that'd be perfect. But besides for the RAM, everything else on this phone makes it well worth it. If they made for this phone for $300 3 or 4 gigabyte RAM model, this would be the biggest deal of the year. This would be probably the best phone of the year until they make some crazy phone. Okay, so it does have 13 megapixel with an f aperture of 2.2, which isn't bad. I mean, I don't know much about aperture. It has a 20 millimeter lens. It is a phase detection autofocus, which is nice. LED flash. It has geotagging, well, blah blah, just regular stuff. 1080p at 30 frames. Could have been 60. But whatever. I'm not gonna complain. Still 100% excellent. The hardware, besides for, as I said, the RAM. It has 5 megapixel front facing, as I was correct. It's right there. The nice thing is, it's right there next to that, so you're not like going like this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Did I get it in? Did I get it in? Oh, no, no. Oh, it's just almost in the center there. It's best as it can be. So it doesn't have, it has Wi-Fi 802.11 ABG and Wi-Fi Direct and Hotspot. It doesn't have NFC or any of the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi networks. It runs off Bluetooth 4.1, which I think is the highest. I haven't heard too much about anything else. But with that being said, though, that is battery saving, because without that I have a not dead smartwatch, which is at 1%, which I should plug in, but it's not dead yet. And if I didn't have Bluetooth, if it was on Bluetooth 2.0 or 3.0, it would have been dead by now. Yeah, it's well needed. It would have died out faster, but with the with the 4.1, it runs fast. Has GPS with a dash GPS, FM radio version 2.0, so it only is quick charge 2.0. USB Type-C 1.0 reversible connector, which is good. The fingerprint, I like that it's rear mounted, because I find that I don't want to, when I'm holding my device like this with the power where I'm just holding it so I can use it like this, like I don't want to be able to fidget to get my home button right there when I'm unlocking it. I just like going like this. And really it's on, like you get, I feel that you're getting better fingerprint placement that way. It has an accelerometer, gyro, proximity compass. So I'll link up here. I did a video for what sensors the Zmax Pro has. and you can see more about that. It has standard standard Android stuff now. Has a non-removable 3400 mAh battery. As I mentioned, the battery life isn't that bad, but at the same time, at least they can make it removable, because repairability on this phone, to be able to get inside, you have to pop off this back over here, and if you destroy it, you have to buy a whole new back, so it's pretty hard to pop off. And then from there, it's sort of easier. It's still not the easiest, though. But at the same time, I really just don't like. It's still not the best thing in the world. I like removable batteries. I hate that companies are going with non-removable. But a nice addition to this would have been more colors, like maybe white, which would just looked cool. I'm not saying this is bad. I just like white phones for some reason. Like black, it gets boring after a while. White, on the other hand, doesn't. So we're going to take a look around the device, and we're going to see what it is like. So let's take a look around the device. So if we take a look around the device, as you see, this has a 6-inch diagonal like that. There's 3 dots for the earpiece, light up buttons, with this being the LED with the ring, USB-C, microphone, blah blah blah, texture power button, headphone jack, Apple, all the standard stuff, powerful enough speaker, and SIM card tray and stuff. But I don't know, there's not much more to look at, but it's just nice that it has that USB-C, because before I complained about it, now I'm just like, okay, USB-C. People were switching to it, I understood that, but I was just thinking, for a 4-cent connector, 4-cent converter, they could have at least thrown one of these USB Type-C converters in there, but they didn't, so no complaining there. But anyway, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on what it looks like around. I like this thing that I do like is this matte back. It's not glass. I don't like the full glass around because you can break that. Anyway, though, that's just our look around the device. If you did like this video about the Zmax Pro in 2017, which, do I recommend it in 2017? Yes. Totally recommend it. If you're looking for a cheap cell phone with all the new features, future-proof cell phone, meaning in 2018 they don't even have, let's say they don't have micro USB cell phones anymore. This has USB-C, so you buy it for $100 now, it's totally gonna last you for maybe 3-4 years instead of spending $50 here, $30 there, and then like $40-50 there. That can add up to more than the worth of this phone in like a year and a half because you're buying the cheapest cell phones. I recommend this to someone too. If you don't have all the money in the world to spend on cell phones or much at all, like I don't either, but I was thinking about spending money on this just because of all the features that it had, and I was like, if it has all of the new features and I can pick it up for $100 plus tax, or T-Mobile $179.99 plus tax, so this brings you on Metro about $125, on T-Mobile probably $200. But I was just thinking, I don't have all the money in the world. I could easily get that money back at some point. I can make that money back over the course of a year, or over the course of 2-3 months. So if that really is the case, there isn't too much of a need to go about spending $700 on a cell phone. Spend $100 or $100 on a cell phone. Don't even spend $50. Just spend the $100. Splurge. Do it! Borrow money from someone. You can definitely make that back somehow or another. Borrow. I mean, even if you need to borrow the $50 from someone. Do it! Borrow $50 from a
Just
friend. Your
do
friend
it!
probably does have $50 that they could lend you. Take that $50 plus your $50 or however much you borrowed from a friend. You can get the phone, be future proof. Unless you are, it's definitely worth it. You could probably also finance the phone if you have good enough credit for that. I don't know how you really want to finance the phone, but you could. This is a cheap cell phone. It's worth it. It's not like the cheapest that you can buy now, but cheap as in future proof. You're spending money, spending only $100 to last you throughout the next couple of years. So, is this phone future proof? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes. Can the majority of all people afford it? Yes. Can everyone afford it? If you borrow money and you're willing to borrow money from someone, yes, you can afford it. It's only I'm saying only 100. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but even for me, $100 sounds like a lot of money. But in cell phone wise, if phones are going for $800, push those to the side. Push them. I don't want to see them. I don't. I've used them. I've used this. I personally, even though it only has 2 gigs of RAM, I personally would rather take this cell phone, forget about all the other cell phones out there, and say, like, if someone offered me one of the top model phones, I would definitely take it. But if I had a choice of being able to spend $800 on a cell phone versus $100 on a cell phone, I would spend the $100 and I would just save the rest of the money. Like, seriously, you don't need to spend $800 on a cell phone. But I don't know. This is definitely worth it in 2017. If you did like this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.